is your advice? We are a women-owned investment group. We have 7 now, almost 8 ladies joining our group. We're interested in developing on vacant land, commercial and residential properties.
Sweet.
What would you advise? How would we start? What do you think we should do first?
Well, I would say, well, first of all, guys, my name is CJ and this is
Nancy,
Nancy. And Nancy, where can they find you?
San Antonio.
San Antonio, are you on IG, Facebook, anything?
We are working on all of that right now.
Do you have a good email for them?
Yes, nhanson672@gmail.com.
nhanson672@gmail.com.
That's right.
Nancy is asking for recommendations on what investments to choose for developing. Is that right?
Correct.
And y'all are from San Antonio, so are you looking in the San Antonio area?
We are. We're very open to other areas, but definitely in San Antonio.
Okay. I guess the first question I would ask is what is the capital raising capacity for you guys right now? Are y'all, with the pool of money that y'all have, the available funds that y'all have, is this closer to $100,000 or $10 million, $100 million? What does that look like?
Definitely, it would be a lot more than $100,000 because of we have a proprietary material that we are distributing, and we want to utilize this material to build up to 6 stories.
Okay.
So we are definitely looking to raise over $10 million.
Okay. But your investors right now, how much capacity do y'all have to go find the land right now?
Right now, we
Half a
are
million?
probably around there. We are currently members, or we're friends with Alma Flores, and she invited us, and so we are very happy that we have met her because she is a land investor.
Shout out to Alma.
Shout out to Alma. And because of her connections, we definitely are looking into a few projects that we would like to begin with.
Got you. As most people know, I'm in the world of mergers and acquisitions, buying and selling businesses. And one thing that one of my mentors taught me way early on is buy, don't build. And that was like a big paradigm shift for me, right? Because as entrepreneurs, as hustlers, as hard workers, the first thing we go to is, how do I go start from the bottom and work and build the whole thing up, right? There are too many businesses available. There are too many baby boomers that are retiring, and there are too many cash flowing businesses that already exist for us to go worry about building it from the ground up. Because here's the thing, when you build a business from the ground up, it's very expensive. You got to buy all the assets. You know, if you were doing a restaurant or something, you got to buy the tables, you got to buy the chairs, you got to get the lease, you got to get all these things, and you got to generate your customers, right? Which is very expensive. Marketing can get very expensive. I mean, at a point in time, I was probably spending $50,000, $60,000 a month just on marketing. And so it's very expensive to do that. So instead of that, what I would recommend, I'm not sure what that proprietary product is, you don't have to tell anybody, but I would recommend finding a cash flowing business where you can perhaps implement what your products are. What are your products? You don't have to tell me the secret sauce.
No, it's absolutely. I do have the Texas territory, so I can definitely make sure that that's not a problem at all. It's a construction material that is termite proof, fireproof, mold proof, hurricane proof, and it's a construction material that you can utilize both interior and exterior to build commercial and residential.
So here's the beauty of it, right? This is where you take this whole mind shift paradigm and apply it to what you're doing. Why go build and invest $500,000 in that when you could take $500,000 that you already have pulled together and go buy a cash flowing construction company that already has clients.
Okay, CJ, I hear you.
That already has a good name, that already has clients, a good history. I don't recommend startups. I want to see that they've been in business 5-10 years. Look at their financials, make sure everything's consistent and all of that stuff. And now, once you acquire that, now you start implementing this product.
Okay.
Right? So instead of, we need 10 million, we need to buy the land, we need to buy this, no. Find the construction company, start cash flowing from that. And then eventually, like if your product becomes so popular across the country and the world, then yeah, at that point, you're going to have to go figure out how to buy, don't build, buy a manufacturing plant, a company somewhere else that's cash flowing. Because remember, all of these people are 60, 70 years old, and the time's just ticking for them to say, I don't know what to do with this business. I'm just going to have to shut it down.
Wow.
And you come in and you take the cash flow and you start implementing all these synergies. And I love the product that you're doing, right? I mean, this is
It's called Rescom.
that's what is it called?
Rescom.
Rescom. Okay.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
a game-changing product, especially, I mean, we're here in Houston at a 10 Growth. Shout out to Ricardo for putting on this amazing event in this powerful proximity that we've been around. But I think that that product, especially in Houston where we get a lot of floods. I mean, I
Yep.
just talked to one of my buddies earlier. He has a flooded house up in the north part of Houston because they released water from Lake Conroe and it
Oh.
flooded a bunch of
Oh
houses.
no.
So the
Wow.
mold issue, I mean, if you could just dry a house out and not have to worry about the mold anymore,
Exactly.
that's game changing,
Yes.
right? So I hope you guys are listening to this and email Nancy if y'all have any questions or if y'all have money that y'all want to invest with her.
Call me.
Get with her. But I really do think that my principles and what I've been taught says don't build. Like I told my partners a long time ago, I'm never starting another company. I'm never starting another company. It's too much hard work, too much BS, too much startup capital, and the model's not proven yet. What's the stat on startups? 90% of startups fail in the first 2 years.
Right.
And then the 90% of the remaining ones are going to fail in the next 3 years. So why would I want to go and play that game when the odds are just stacked against you, right? No, I'd want to go see the company that has already passed those 5 years, that has already been in business 10, 15 years. They've survived COVID. They've survived maybe the 2008 recession. They've proven that they have a demand for their services in the marketplace,
Okay.
and go buy them.
Acquire.
And inside our community, in the proximity community, we have a lot of connections. We have the biggest SBA lender in the country. He keeps us up to date on all the things SBA, and you can put down, and once you get qualified, and if the business is qualified, we can show you all that inside the community. But if the business is qualified and you guys are qualified, you can get an SBA loan and put 10% down. That means you can go buy. I mean, think about this. Y'all have $500,000 in cash. Technically, you could go buy a $5 million construction company and put your $500,000 down, and now that cash flow is yours. And now you implement your product, right?
Right.
So, what other? I hope I answered that question.
You
But
totally
what other
answered.
questions, Nancy?
You totally answered my question. That's exactly what we're going to be doing.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Listen, guys. Again, the whole shift here is buy, don't build. Stop thinking I gotta start from ground zero and do it all myself. And this is something I was chatting with somebody else about. Is like, it's unfortunate that in the school system right now, they teach us how to either be employees,
right.
or they might sprinkle in a little bit of some startup business stuff. They love to push startup businesses. Nobody ever talks about going and buying an existing business.
You're right.
And it's unfortunate. I mean, hey, I'm teaching my kids. I'm trying to preach it to the world, actually. But there is way too much opportunities out there for us to go and waste our time. And here's the harsh reality. I think your product is amazing and it'll do well no matter what. But the harsh reality is a lot of people have products and services that the marketplace isn't going to pay for it. The marketplace don't care about it. But then they spend 6 to 12 months pumping in millions of dollars and pumping in more money for marketing, only to realize that nobody wanted that product or service.
How do you overcome, for example, there are no comparisons to what is out there with our product. How do you overcome the price point?
Well, what's the price point?
Just to give you a kind of an example, so it's about 5 times more expensive than your average drywall.
So drywall in a
Or
house, you can
siding.
correct me if I'm wrong, but let's just take a 3-2 brick, 1,500 square foot home. Drywalling that entire house is probably a $5,000 job, maybe plus or minus a little bit. So you're telling me it's about $25,000 ballpark, 30 grand maybe?
Ballpark.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, first of all, you got to sell the longevity of it, right? You got to, especially here in Houston, you can say, listen, when the next Harvey happens, you're going to spend more money to re-drywall your whole house, and when the next flood happens, you're going to spend more money. So why not do it now, right? You guys also could link with. I have a few financing partners that I can link you with. Figure out how to get financing involved in your product. I don't know if your
Okay,
company
I
has
get
that
what
or
you
not,
mean.
right? Yeah, so that would be another way because nobody wants to come out that expense. I'll give you a really good nugget that you could probably use as well is I can connect you with a lot of my big solar company guys. And this is going to sound weird, but in the solar kind of industry, they're able to roll in, I don't know all the details, but they're able to roll in house repairs to the loan of the new solar roof. So for instance, I want to get a new, or I want a solar roof. Maybe that cost me like 30 grand. But I need a carport, or I had a disrepaired kitchen or whatever, and I want to throw that in there. They will throw in those products into the solar loan. And so if you guys just create synergies and piggyback off those guys and say, hey, listen, whoever y'all are looking out there to get, let me go in there and talk to them about this. We can roll it into the loan. It's already built in financing, and boom, you got to sell, right?
Yeah.
And the beauty for the homeowner, I've talked to my buddies in the solar industry. Like it actually works out because if your light bill is $300 a month, but then after you get your 30-year loan on your roof and you do some house repairs, I mean, these guys have put patios for people. Like you can actually upgrade your
It
house, not just repair
increases
it.
the value of
It
the
will, it
property.
increases the value, but let's say that payment is $300 or maybe $250. Well, you eliminated your $300 light bill and now you have a $250 loan payment every month. You're actually saving 50 bucks and you got a new roof and you
And
got
to
the
get
new
the
drywall
improvements.
in there. You got all the new stuff in there. So
Right.
it really is a win-win situation. But that would be my recommendation. Try to figure out how you can create those synergies for the financing part of it to overcome it. I think financing is the answer to a high ticket item, right? Things are higher priced, that's fine. Ferraris still sell, Lamborghinis still sell. They do
Sure.
the same thing as a Corolla. They're both going to get you from A to B, but the experience, the benefits of that Ferrari, the way they sell it, the way they present it, makes people say, I want that Ferrari, right? So
Right.
don't let the limiting belief that you have a high ticket item stop you from making a bunch of sales. The thing is, how can I present it? How can I show the value of this to people so they'll still buy it, right? And financing is a big part of that. Nobody wants to pay 30 grand just for sheetrock. But if you can finance it, if it doesn't come out of the homeowner's pocket all at once, that definitely makes it stronger.
Okay. Okay, that's good. I had thought about construction with this product because that way I could showcase it and actually show people. But I think that you nailed it with, owning my own construction company. I mean,
Oh yeah.
definitely that makes sense.
Yeah, and like I said, utilize the SBA. Like SBA for businesses is like FHA for houses. It's a great product,
Right.
And if you guys have that $500,000, I mean, you don't have to go 5 million, but there's a lot of construct. I can probably find you a couple in our pipeline, $1 million, $2 million construction companies that you can take to the SBA and put 10% down and own it, right? And it's funny because the owners will actually stay on board part time. So it's a beautiful thing when you can find the right one. But that would kind of be my recommendation. Like I said, if y'all are interested in the proximity community, we have 8, 9 figure earners inside of there. We have the SBA guy. He talks to us. He keeps us up to date on all of that stuff. We go over deal analysis, break down deals. We have people wanting to invest in there, like people that just want to buy in there, not even wholesale the businesses. So there's a lot of wealth of knowledge that's inside the community. But just at a surface level, that would kind of be my take on it. What other kind of questions you have,
How do
Nancy?
we join proximity?
I mean, so guys, go to wholesalingbusinesses.com,
Okay.
and you'll be able to find our products on there. It's a good way to. There's different levels to it too. There's kind of like a one-on-one mentorship. There's kind of like the group mentorship, and then there's kind of like just joining the community itself without the course and the materials and all of that. So you go to wholesalingbusinesses.com. You'll be able to find all that stuff. We can talk, on a Zoom later on or whatever as well. But I think being around people that have the resources and the knowledge that you need,
it's invaluable.
Way more than anything else you could pay for. Because the way I don't know if I created this quote, but I Googled it and it didn't pop up. So I say opportunities die with lack of resources. If I have a flip and it's a potential $100,000 in profit, but I don't know any title company people, I don't know any contractors, I don't know any people in real estate, I don't know none of that. That deal's just gonna walk on by me. Opportunities die if you don't have the resources in your proximity to go make it happen.
God.
So always make sure you have the right resources in your circle so that anytime you need something, boom, it's right there. Your resources, your network. They say your network is your net worth, right? There's a reason they say that. Any other questions?
No, sir.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Hey, guys, remember, what was your email again, Nancy?
nhanson672@gmail.com.
That's right, guys. Nancy is in San Antonio.
Yes.
And but it looks like y'all are going to be working at least the whole state, right?
Right.
So if you guys are in Texas and you guys are looking to invest, or even outside of Texas and you're looking to invest, she has a really unique product. I'll be honest with you, it sounds game changing.
It is.
So make sure you
Definitely.
reach out to her. And, if y'all have any other questions, leave them in the comments below.
Thank you.